Okay, just had to do something real quick there. Alright, now we're down to the last measurement, and it's going to be 10 milliseconds at, on this one I've got it, so 1500 will fill the cylinder. Alright, let's go ahead and turn the fuel pump on. And we hit start. And as you can see, it's filling it up faster than before. The pulse widths are a lot longer. And on this worksheet that I'm using, as soon as I enter in this last value with the 10 millisecond pulse width, it'll actually give the fuel injector flow rate in pounds per hour and cc's per minute. Let me turn the fuel pump off. Alright, let's pull this out and see what we got. Come on, get out of there. Alright. And let's see. Looks like about 90. Go over to the spreadsheet. Plug that in. See, right now it's showing 0 cc's per minute, 0 pounds per hour. Boom. 371 cc's per minute and 35.3 pounds per hour is what this injector is actually flowing. And now you can see my graph is complete, and you can see where it's coming all the way down. And the last measurement point was right here, and we've got a trend line that comes down and shows where it intersects. And on this particular injector, it's looking right about 3 milliseconds is where the intersect point is. And these are stock injectors for a 91 ES Shadow with the 2.5 T1. They're rated at, I believe, 33.25 pounds per hour. They're supposed to be 349.5 cc injectors. And we've got a little more than that. We've got 371 cc's per minute and 35.3 pounds per hour. But my fuel pump is putting out a couple more pounds than 55. Showing 58 according to my cheap-ass Harbor Freight gauge. So that may be accurate. But whenever you're messing with MegaSquirt and you're doing the injector dead time, don't measure just one. I've already measured the other 3 injectors. Measure all 4 of them, because what that's going to allow you to do is find out if you have a bad injector. You can actually test all 4 of them and get the flow rate on all 4 of them. And if any one of them is out of whack, you'll know it before you decide to go driving around and run an engine lean and wipe it out, or if you have a bad connection, because you can also test all of your outputs. And that's really about all there is to it. You just do that for all 4 injectors and plug all your values in, and you're ready to rock. And it will make everything, as far as like tuning your idle control, air temperature correction, and all that kind of stuff, it'll make it a lot more accurate and actually easier to work with. Because when you're doing air temperature correction, you're adding like maybe a millisecond or so to the pulse width. So if you leave it set at the stock, or the default, which is 1 millisecond, that's great if your injectors are 1 millisecond dead time injectors. But if they're different than that, then you're going to be way off, and it's going to make tuning your idle and your low load drivability a lot more difficult, and then also your temperature correction is not going to work very well either. So it's very important to do this test with all your injectors every time. If you get new injectors, you got to pull it all apart and go ahead and do this whole setup and test everything all over again. Now, I didn't have to modify anything. It's probably kind of hard to see, but I just have my fuel hoses are a little bit longer than normal because I had to run all new fuel lines. So on my particular car, I was able to just lean it over just like so, and I just unhooked the harness from the firewall, so I had a little more slack with the wiring. I was able to just set it in place and start testing, and that's all there is to it. Catch you later.